I hate this. It always puts a thing in front of my face. Hello, everybody. I have to clear out of a screen every time we start, and it's really actually starting to bother me. So
I feel like the people who watch on YouTube get like a special little treat and see how awkward we are when we first start. Because on the through the podcast, you don't actually hear it because we cut it out. But
I was thinking that actually this morning because I was like, wow, we have a hard time when we start the podcast. But I think this video recording thing also makes it challenging. But yes, if you watch the YouTube, you definitely get way more insight into our podcast life for sure. So yeah, welcome to the podcast, everyone. I hope you are having a fabulous August so far. It is such a peaceful and amazing month.
it really is. We're recording this on the first day of August, and I just feel a whole different energy on August.
I don't know if I feel that, but I just know that it's my birthday week and also that I get to just celebrate myself all month long. So very pleased. Do you have any updates for us?
Well, yes, I do. Kind of a sad update. My dog ended up passing away this last week, so that happened in my life, and it was very hard, very sad. I still am really, really struggling, but it was for the better. Her last couple hours of life were really awful and really painful, and it happened very, very quickly. So that has been an adjustment, but it was all right. It's okay. We went to Wyoming Downs also to watch the horse races. Did not think it was going to be fun, and I ended up having so much freaking fun, and it was so needed, and I just can't wait to go again. So yeah, that's the only updates I really have.
I have been wondering, and I think it's probably been too soon for you to tell, but I've been wondering if you also have a little bit of weight off of your shoulders with Gypsy passing.
Oh, 100%.
Like, I think that I don't think you realized how much that was affecting your everyday life, even though you weren't like thinking about it every day. You were like holding that stress and pressure all day long. And I feel like I've just been wondering if you've noticed that.
Yeah, I definitely am in the stage of grief of guilt, and I feel a lot of guilt for because I have talked about it almost every episode at this point, but I have a lot of like anxiety, and she was a lot of the source of my anxiety because her last few months of life she's been doing things so different, and I feel like I kind of accidentally without meaning to kind of like separated myself from her, if that makes sense, and like would send her like downstairs with Tony, or like couldn't take her outside sometimes because she would act weird out there. So I feel a lot of guilt with that. And then I feel a lot of guilt because I have such a big sense of relief. Like for my birthday, we're going to St. George to visit my sister and to go to Tuacahn down there. And then we have Christina's wedding in the fall. And there was all these things that I needed to find babysitters for her for. And I was so stressed that if something happened while we were gone, like what would happen. And if it did happen when we were gone, she was gone within 12 hours of her first symptom of like she had really, how she passed was she kind of suffocated, it almost seemed like, to death. And so like she was having breathing problems, and so it happened in a span of 12 hours. So like if I was in North Carolina and something happened, I wouldn't have been able to get home in time. So there is a lot of relief with that, and I feel really guilty for that. But yeah, and I was telling Tony on our drive home yesterday, because the horse races were in Evanston, Wyoming, so it's like 2 hours from our house. And I opened up this bottle of water that was like icing, and the water like exploded all over me, and I laughed about it. And Tony was like, "It's so good to like hear you laugh again, like over something stupid." And I'm like, "You're actually right. Like I was under so much stress and so much anxiety that something like that would have made me super grumpy and kind of like set me off. But now like I feel like myself again in a lot of ways. Like I still have a lot of stress from the other stuff I talked about last episode, but it just is nice to kind of feel glimpses of myself coming back." So
That makes me
long-winded
very happy.
answer,
Very happy about that. Also, I just have to share with everyone that someone gave me the best idea today about my birthday, and I'm really upset that I just now got this idea. So I was like walking out to go to lunch and he was like, "Hey, I had a question I needed to ask you, but I can't remember." And I was like, "Oh, was it what you were going to get me for my birthday?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, that's this week, huh?" And he's like, and I was like, "Yeah, so is that what your question was?" He's like, "No, I already have the link to your registry." And I was like, light bulb, why have I not had a registry every year for my birthday?
That is such a good idea.
I know. And now I'm disappointed that it's my birthday week. I don't have time to do that now, but I'm for sure going to do that at some point in my
How
life.
I still have time, bitches. If you want a link to my Amazon registry, let me
Literally,
know.
though, I was like, wow, that is such a good idea.
Wow, that's a great idea. I like it. I like it a lot.
I know. So look forward to that in the future, friends.
Look
Uh,
forward to mine in the future in like a week. I'll post a link on the podcast page. Feel free to just send me gifts.
literally, though. Okay, so I have a couple of pop culture updates for everyone, or just like things that I've heard over the last couple of days. One of the recent ones I heard ties back to the Johnny Depp trial, and a bunch of fans paid money. They paid like $3,000 to get some records unsealed from the court of like certain things that were omitted. And the content was saying like, I think people are kind of disappointed in the stuff that they found in the records they released. I think it made them like upset with Johnny. And I'm like, what does this mean? And come to find out he has erectile dysfunction. And that was one of the things that was sealed.
Sad. So his fans paid to release this to the world that he has erectile dysfunction.
They got it released to themselves. Sorry, I gotta put my old lady glasses on. They got it released for themselves, but then like published some of it.
That is so sad.
I know. I was
Honestly,
like,
that's so messed up.
dang. So that's my Johnny Depp update. Also, there's definitely some content that was excluded about like conversations him and Amber had, that like he was telling her like, if things get violent, like we have to take space away. Like I can't be in a violent relationship. And she's like, "No, it's fine." Blah blah blah. And he's like, "No, we have to not be together if it gets violent." So I thought that was interesting.
Wow.
Yeah. My next update is not the best update, but it's about Britney. And I guess that they've been like back in court lately, and I have not been able to keep up with what's going on. And so there's all these like theories that she wasn't actually in Hawaii, but it turns out she was in Hawaii while this was happening. And because people are still like, she's like actually locked up, no one actually sees her, but she was actually in Hawaii. And she like, apparently someone posted something too saying like she isn't like under anything right now. She's just free and like crazy from everything. But we've had someone else give us some information that knows some information that I don't know if we ever got clearance to release. So
So we
I'm not
can't
gonna
say names.
so I'm not gonna say anything, but that person says like absolutely like her marriage is fake, like all these things. She was never pregnant. And it's like, man, I don't know what to believe.
I don't either. I mean, I wish that there was all those rumors after she got free that she was going to have that sit down with Oprah, like that interview with Oprah. I wish that she would just like come out on like a public something that's not Instagram because her Instagram is so sketchy. Like I wish she would come out on like a talk show or with Oprah or have like a special on
Like
Hulu
live.
and say like, guys, I'm okay, like I'm just kind of mentally recovering from all of this. Yes, I'm the one posting these pictures even though they look like they're freaking leaked and it doesn't look good. Like if she was really free, I feel like she would want to clear her name in that way, and the fact that she hasn't makes me question.
I know. And I do think that she's a little stressed to go on a show because some of the last ones she did before all of this, like they totally like made her feel like shit on them. And so I think that that's a big part of it and grilled her. Like one of the last ones I remember seeing, like she was not comfortable with the questions being asked and felt like they were really inappropriate. I do think it's interesting though. She just went off on her mom again the other day on Instagram, and I was
I
like,
did see that.
I don't even know why you're getting mad at her. I don't know the context here. Like what happened? And I couldn't even read it because it's just so long.
Yeah. No, I did see something. I've been kind of disconnected. We just recorded on Thursday. We're recording this back on Monday. So I've been kind of disconnected over this weekend because of everything with Gypsy, but I did see like little snippets and I did see her go off on her mom, but I didn't read all of it. So if anybody knows the update, let us know because I'm curious. I just feel like things are kind of sketchy still.
Yeah, I'm just having a hard time figuring out what is going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really bothering me.
Yeah, same.
I had something else I wanted to. Oh, I went back to therapy. This is what I wanted to tell
Oh,
everyone. I
yes.
talked about it on our Instagram stories, and I'm just like so happy that I went back. I do need to get back on her schedule because we didn't like lock in a date. I need to call the office. I don't know if I'm gonna go back bi-weekly right now or monthly. I'm still determining that. But I was like just so pleasantly surprised by how comfortable I felt being back after a couple of months. And then also like I said on the stories, like I'm just really proud that like I have these skills now. I would not have anticipated having those skills, and I just can't even believe it. I'm just in shock still.
I think that it's awesome. I'm very happy that you went back because I feel like we all need therapy. But I think it's really great, like how much work that you have really done on yourself. And I've known you for a really long time. And I think out of pretty much anybody besides like Wally in your life, I can see how much growth you've had. And I just think that that's really great.
I know I was at the pool yesterday with my sister, which by the way, I just like sat in the pool yesterday with her for probably like 4 hours, maybe even five, just drinking seltzers, chatting, and it was like so cozy. I just love a good pool day, but
That sounds amazing.
I know we talked about your birthday actually last year. And I was just talking to her and she's like, honestly, like because we were just talking about like past friendships and situations and relationships and like all these different things that have like happened over the last couple of years. And she's like, honestly, I was just telling Brantley the other day, like, you're like the best version of yourself that I've seen so far and like the happiest I've seen you since I've met you. And I was like, "Ugh, I feel happy. I'm really happy you said that."
Yeah, I totally
Like,
agree with that.
it's totally proof. Like, do the freaking work, people.
Yeah. And when you said seltzers, I do have a surprise for you. This is a good
Seltzers?
surprise. This is a really good surprise. I was just in Wyoming and we stopped at the liquor store and guess what I found?
Sonic seltzers?
No, the Alani seltzers.
Uh-uh.
Yeah, I have a whole box and they're not like the crappy flavors, they're margarita flavors.
What? I didn't even know they had that option.
Yeah, I saw them and I was like, holy shit. And the funniest story, so I was so excited. We're walking out to the car. I'm so excited. And I like lifted up the box to look at them again because I was so excited. The freaking box ripped
Oh
and all the
no.
cans fell everywhere. I was like, oh my gosh, of course. But they're all fine. They're all good to go. But I'm really excited.
I'm excited. That's very exciting. I'm also excited that I get to go to Lee's Discount Liquor this weekend and see what the fuck's going on
Mhm.
there because I bet there's some good shit.
Yes, I'm so excited. I get to go to Mesquite, you guys. Oh, I guess I do have a lot more updates than I realized. I get to go to Mesquite and the Machine Gun Kelly concert. I know Shelby did not want me to do both, but granted, I was not able to get a sub for yoga, so that's why I'm able to do both. But I was able to do both, and I'm very excited.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good time. And wow, I can't believe that you have those seltzers. How
I
funny that I
know.
was like Sonic seltzers.
I know. I don't know if I want to bring them to Backstreet Boys or if I want to bring them to Mesquite.
I would maybe bring them the next week for our birthday like party celebration.
Okay. All right.
They'd be like we could have them before our tattoo.
Ooh, good idea. All right, I'll
I
do
mean, don't drink before you get a tattoo
that.
or do.
Definitely don't.
Don't tell them. That's funny. Freak, I had something else that you triggered me to say and now I can't remember. I don't know. We'll see if I remember.
Yeah, no,
So,
I
do
think that
we
was all
have
the updates I have.
Okay, I don't think I have any more updates either. So let's just talk about our topic. I actually wanted to do this topic for a minute, and I've been trying to figure out why all day long. So our topic is like all about being 32, like, because we're feeling 32, because we're going to be 32. By the time you guys hear this, I will literally be 32.
Ah! I'll
Wait,
be a week and a half away from being 32.
also, I just want to mention at season 2, I have not sworn hardly at all when it comes to the F word.
It's true. You're welcome, Taylor's mom.
So Taylor's mom better congratulate me. And I haven't even really been trying. I'm very curious. Maybe I don't know what the deal is. Anyways, so I will actually be 32 by then, but a couple of months ago, probably like February-ish, I feel like is when I wanted to like start talking about it. So we put it on our list of topics and I couldn't really figure out why. But so what I was thinking about is like the beginning of the year, like that's when I kind of start thinking about like, oh wow, I'm going to be this age this year and what am I going to do for my birthday and like all of the things that Leos do.
That's such a Leo thing. Like, oh, it's January, a new year. It's almost my birthday in 8 months.
You have to start preparing for like
It's true. I do the
all of
same
it.
thing.
So I was just thinking about like my perspective at the beginning of the year. And I think that that might be what had started to make me be like, what even is this age? Like, I truly was like, 32 seems like the dumbest age you could ever be. Like, what is 32? Like, who's just going around being like, yeah, I'm 32 and feels like cool about it? I don't know. Did you ever feel that way?
Um, yes and no. Like, I really don't mind getting older. And age is not really a thing. Like, I've never felt the need to be like, oh, I need to stay 28 forever. Like, I just feel like I embrace every age, and I think every age is exciting. So,
Interesting. Well, I don't know what it is, but I was like, 32 seems like the dumbest fucking number you could turn. Like, what even, like, what's the purpose of turning 32? Can't we just skip to like a 35 or like, and then I started to think about it today. I think the reason I was thinking that is because it doesn't seem like a milestone birthday. And I think because of my like obsessive energy with like birthday parties, and since we had Napa on our 30th, it feels like I need another milestone to like celebrate to that level. Like,
mhm.
I think that's why last year I was like not really feeling it too, among other things. But then, like, just kind of like, oh, you're 31. Like, it's not a milestone birthday. And then I was thinking about like my birthdays between like, I think 25 was a fun birthday. And then like the ones in between, they're just like more casual. And I think that that's what was bothering me is like, this isn't even a cool, it's not even a cool year or a cool birthday.
Yeah, I
So
can see that.
that was my perspective, I think, on why I was like, what even is this number? However, now that I've like gone through half of the year, basically, over half, really, I started to think about like, wow, that really was my mindset at the beginning of the year. Those were the things I was thinking. And then I started to reflect back on like all the things I've noticed with myself this year about like aging, I guess. I don't really know if I'd call it that because I don't actually like the thought of aging. Um, but one of the biggest things I've noticed with myself this year and like turning another year older is my skincare has like elevated like crazy. Like I am way more concerned about my skin than I was even last year.
I feel that exact same way. I was actually just telling Tony this past weekend. I was like, man, I am just like so white. Like, usually by this point, I'm so tan. And I was like, why do I not really tan anymore? And I think it's because I wear so much damn sunscreen. Like, I'm so concerned about getting sunburned and about my skin that I just don't really like tan or anything anymore. It's very weird.
So I was actually just having this same conversation with multiple people because when we came back from our trip, I was not tan. And like
Yeah, me either.
I for sure did not put very much sunscreen on while we were gone, which that's kind of bothering me because I was intentionally like, I'm going to come back really tan because when we went to Mexico, I was so tan. And then I came back from the Caribbean and I'm like, I'm literally fucking white. Like, what? I put sunscreen on my face because I do want to prevent dark spots because I already am prone to them. And so I was like, what the hell? And the more I started thinking about it, I realized again, the self tanner I'm using makes me pretty dark. And I think because I'm already dark, I'm not susceptible to burning the way that I used to burn because I would be white. And then, like, I don't know if it's like putting a protective layer over me or what, but like even yesterday in the pool, like I put SPF on like 2, maybe 3 times, but not in like actually, no, I only put SPF on my face and 1 time on my body. The rest of the time I had like the 8 SPF tanning like kind, and I didn't get sunburned. Like,
Yeah, I can't explain it. I mean, I get really nasty sunburns, but I used to like tan after the sunburns and I'll just peel and then I'm just white as can be again.
yeah, I don't know what it's about, but I definitely have noticed like I'm way more aggressive about like taking care of my skin. Like I'm really, really adamant about my nighttime skincare routine, which like literally was not a thing when we started this podcast. Like it wasn't. I didn't even
Mhm.
own a product. So now I'm like super in a routine that way. And then I'm also like super diligent about having SPF on my face. Like I had 2 different SPFs for my face yesterday that I was putting on constantly. And I think that that's really interesting. Like I think that's one of the biggest things I've noticed with turning 32, like aging. I'm like, holy shit. And I think I'm also way more aware of fine lines on my face. Like my under eye lines are stressing me out. I don't know if you can see them.
Can't. No, I feel ya. There was like a picture that I posted this weekend and it might have been because I was crying so much, but I had like super puffy under eye situations going on and I was like, what is happening? Like it's so weird getting older and just like seeing yourself change, not only your face, but just like your whole body and how your body feels. And it's so weird to me. And I haven't really noticed until like this last year when I've really noticed that like things are really changing in my
Yeah.
body.
I feel that way too. And I've noticed like my gray hair comes a lot faster than it used to. Like I used to be good. Like I have like probably 8 of them that show up where I part my hair, and they show up really, really fast now. And they used to not show up that fast. So that's been weird to me. And then I've also noticed that like my body is like not recovering the same that it would when I like work out. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely noticing like, okay, I need to stretch more, which I know I should stretch anyways,
Oh, I love to hear that.
but like I don't do it still. But I'm noticing my body's like tighter way more often. And I think it's just weird that like I remember the second I turned 30, like the weirdest things started happening to my body. And I was like, how weird that like my body just knew like, all right,
Mm-hmm.
now we're headed this direction of like old fucking age. Like,
Yeah.
so I think that's really weird. But so among the like other than just the like random aging things, another thing that I've noticed that I've developed over this like year is like more care for like the environment, like weird things that way, like
Mm-hmm.
more like long-term weird planning things. Like I was like talking the other day to someone and I was like, it just really makes me mad when I have this subscription that I'm getting of this, like, oh, it's my greens. And I'm like, and I was just thinking, like, why aren't they sending it to me in like a bag? Because I already have the container and I'm on a subscription plan. So like when you're on a subscription plan, companies should get it into like a different type of container instead of these big, thick plastic containers.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, wow, you've really like matured. I was like, it
Well,
is weird
it's
that I just said that.
it is something that like crosses my mind. Like even with me, like using my reusable shopping bags at the grocery store so I don't have the plastic and recycling, like weird stuff. I do really care about the environment and it does. I mean, every little bit helps. Right now, I'm probably just like a drop in the big pan of people
Yeah.
using their reusable stuff. But I mean, even things like straws. Like I bought a bunch of reusable straws that I'll just wash and reuse so that I'm not using plastic straws. So it is like little weird habits that I've formed to help the environment, and that is very interesting to me.
Yeah, and you want to know what's even a weirder one that I've done recently? This one only happened over the last like month or two. So
Okay.
I always have solo cups at my house, like the colored ones for the seasons. Like that's who I am. Like you can always have a solo cup at my house. I have started washing them. Like I have always like I remember one time my mom was like, "You're just throwing those away," and I was like, "Fuck yeah, I'll just buy more." And she would like wash them and take them home because I was like, "I'm not using those." And like recently, like, because my kids just like get so many of them and it just fucking pisses me off. So I started like collecting them and actually washing them. And that's when I was like, holy fucking shit, you maybe lost your mind.
That is actually something that is very different for you.
I know. So that one I'm a little bit embarrassed about, to be honest.
I don't think it's embarrassing. I think that everybody should care about the planet. A few semesters ago, I took a environmental studies class, and the things that they taught you about the environment, like, I know that global warming is a huge conspiracy theory and there's a lot to say about that, but there was actually some factual stuff there. And I was like, wow, I could actually do a lot better helping the
Yeah.
environment. And I think that if people just like put that in their mind, there actually could be a difference that could really help the planet. So,
Well, and even if they're not like the biggest things, like every little thing helps. And like I do also think part of me washing them was because I'm like, those are like expensive. Like I'm way more aware of like the expense tied to certain things that I did that was like wasteful.
mhm.
I think that that's been like super, super weird. So like not only that developed, but then I've also noticed that like I have started like I already was like one of those people that like gave zero fucks, I feel like a lot of the time. And like right now, it's like if I truly don't want to do something, I'm just not going to go to it or I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to even say I'm interested. Like I
Mhm.
remember back in the day, I don't get on Facebook a lot anymore, but back in the day, I'd see all these events and things going on in like the city. I'd be like interested, maybe like, wow, that sounds so cool. And I'd start like having all these random ideas of things I wanted to do. I don't even give a fuck now. I'm like, I don't even know what's going on and I don't even care. Like I don't have time or energy or the desire to go deal with the public.
See, and that's where I am the complete opposite. Like, as I get older, the more stuff I want to do, the more experiences I want to have. And, like, I want to do cool, random stuff like that.
I think there's like times that I want to do it, but I want them to be more like I don't want to just do them because it's happening in this city. You know what I mean? Like I want to be like I would rather be like saving my money because I want to go to Nashville or something, you know, like I want to like be better about my spending on the weekends so that I
Mhm.
have more money to go travel or do other experiences instead of like I think it's still cool to take advantage of the ones here, but I want to be like only because I really actually wanted to do it. Like Pride, I really wanted to go to that. That's worth spending that money for me. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So that's like another interesting thing I feel like has developed over the year. And I also feel like maybe that's part of why, like, remember how I'm like, I feel like I like have no friends. I feel like I set myself into that trap and now I have to like bury myself, unbury myself. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
you were like not wanting to do anything and now you're kind of like, oh, I actually do want to do something.
Yeah, yeah.
But I only want to say yes to stuff I actually want to do now.
But I think that that played a lot of like into the funk that you were in, of that you just
Yeah.
kind of needed a break from people. I feel like the past year I have really like realized how important relationships with people are, and like how important nourishing new relationships are, and creating connections and just things with people. And I feel like that I have really put myself out of the box so much more than I ever have in my whole life, because just the older I get, the more I want to have connections with people, the more I want to have things to do. And I don't know, I just think I just love relationships with people, and I really think I've dove into that this past year.
I also think something I noticed for myself too is I'm such a planner. Like I plan, like if I had a free weekend, I'd be like, oh my gosh, cool, we have nothing to do. Let's plan something. And I think
Mm-hmm.
because I'm a planner, I would like really plan our life and any free moment we had, especially in the summertime. And I think I've taken a step back and like planned less so that I can enjoy life more because I think I was like constantly going, going, going and exhausted. And like we couldn't ever actually get a lot of stuff done. So I feel like that's one benefit is that I've like realized, okay, like I don't actually really want to do anything over the weekend and I don't need to plan something. Like I have accepted that I don't have to have plans.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that's been interesting for sure. Um, one of the things too that I feel like has developed a lot this year is I've like really started to understand what I want professionally. And I think it's taken me quite a while to get there. Like I started working as a paralegal when I was whew, 19, maybe 20. Seems forever ago. And I think like it slowly developed and I wasn't really sure there's someone on my porch. That's so
It's a neighbor.
She has heart glasses on.
Is it a child?
I think the Amazon driver's like hip. I'm serious. She has those heart sunglasses. Anyway, so I feel like it took me a while to kind of like figure out what I wanted professionally. Like I liked being a paralegal, but I slowly started to be like, oh, actually this is not what I want to do long term. I have bigger goals or I have bigger dreams. And then I started to switch into like the business operations side of things. It is the Amazon driver. She is hip. How silly. So then I started to like develop those skills, and then I wasn't really sure how I wanted to use those skills either or how those would develop. And now I feel like like I already was feeling it towards the end of last year, like probably around like the fourth quarter of the year. I started to be like, I'm noticing something and I'm sensing something and I'm like communicating it more. And then the second like January hit, I was like, oh yeah, this is what I want and this is what I don't want. And like I feel like that was very it took a long time, I feel like, to get there.
Yeah, yeah. That's a
But
lot of years.
I know. But I am really happy that I was able to that because like you're in a situation right now where you're kind of like, I don't really know what I want.
Yeah, I definitely am, and I hope that I'll figure it out. Yeah, because I don't know. I have no idea what I want professionally. I know that I want like a career and I want to work. I just don't know exactly what that looks like for me.
I do think that like me being in an industry that I was already like enjoying and like sticking through it and like adapting where the
Where
different
you
areas
needed.
were
Yeah.
helped me get there. Otherwise, like I think I'd be like you where I'm kind of like dabbling in different areas and I'm not
Hmm.
sure because how are you supposed to know? Like it really
Yeah,
does take time to like figure out like this is a long-term thing. It's not like a well, I'm gonna go do this and then you have to do it. You have the
yeah.
choice not to, or you have the choice to do it, force yourself to do it, and then you're miserable every day.
Exactly. And I love my job now. Like, I really do love being a medical assistant. I think it's a great job. I work for a really good doctor, but it definitely is not something that I want to do long term. And I definitely don't want to be a nurse because the hours of nurses have to work and weekends and holidays and all of that bullshit. Like, I'm not into that, but I definitely don't want to be a medical assistant forever. So, I don't know. I don't know exactly what career life looks for me. I hope I'll figure it out soon, but I don't know. Maybe if drama in schools stop being so crazy, I'll go back to really wanting to be a teacher because I am actually really good at teaching and I'm really good with kids, but there's just so much drama and bullshit in schools right now that it's not worth it for the hours you have to work and what you get paid.
Yeah, I think you'll get there. I think it just like takes time and I don't know, you're in like that in between stage right now. Like
Yeah.
where like decisions have to be made, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, I definitely am. So it definitely sucks, but
Another thing that I realized when I was reflecting back over like what's happened already this year is that I've realized a lot more that like the decisions I've made in the past and the decisions I make now and the way I handle interactions and conversations and anything like those have a bigger like ripple effect and like they come years later like you don't realize those things but then I also realize like I am a direct product of my decisions like
mhm,
everything that I go through in life is because of the decisions I'm making now for in the future or like you know what I mean like
yeah.
how I handle a scenario or like a weird conversation or a heated discussion like those impact me and those relationships and anything moving forward and like I'm a direct product of whatever I do and like that's been really weird for me to like really process because it's like I already know that but when you think about it like that it just because I'm harsh, I'm like, yeah, you don't get a fucking bitch because it's your decisions that put you in these situations. Like who you are is the decisions you've been making. And I'm like, huh.
Mhm. No, that's very true. I never have really thought about that, but that's 100% true.
I know it. And I think I started thinking about that when I was like talking, like thinking about going back to therapy and the things I wanted to talk to her about. And I think I'd already been like thinking about that, but I hadn't really like formulated the thoughts fully. And then I was like, holy shit, like this is so weird to me and so crazy. And it comes back to like what I was saying. I was like, had I gone to therapy sooner and dealt with my trauma sooner, there's probably so many different things that could have happened in my life and different experiences and environments that I would have been in and relationships and friendships that like I just like would have had so much more information and handled them completely different and probably saved myself a lot of stress, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah. But on the flip side of that, you do sometimes have to go through those things to learn how to
Yeah.
fix that for the future, you know?
And I do feel like I'm really proud of the product I have, like myself right now, because like, hello, baby narcissist, but like it takes a hard, like, it's hard to sit and think about that and be like, wow, am I proud of who I am or am I not proud of who I am?
Hmm.
So I think that those are like really my biggest like epiphanies. Let me see if I wrote down any more. Um, oh, my last one is that I just feel like I've like accepted intuition and like the universe so much more than I ever have. Like I've always had it and known about it and like believed in it, but I think I really like embraced it this year. And I think that it's been like probably one of the greatest things I could have done.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that you brought up a lot of really good points, and I would just like to add what I have learned. The biggest thing I would say probably this year is about health and just how important your body is and how important like your mental health and your physical health and how much they actually go together. I feel like you can't physically be healthy if your mental health is not, I want to say like in a good state, but I feel
Connected. I
like
would
you're,
say connected. Like
yeah,
if your body
connected.
and your mind aren't connected, you
Mhm.
will constantly be off.
Yes, yes. And I mean, I've gained a lot of weight these last couple years, and some of it is out of my control, but some of it is definitely in my control. And it's really, really hard to lose weight and get to like a healthy place weight wise when you have some of the issues I have with thyroid and stuff. And that sucks, but even though it doesn't look like it, this is the healthiest that I've ever been in my entire life. And I'm really proud of that because it is hard. And it is hard that, like, sometimes I want to come home from work and have a glass of wine, but I'm like, do I really need to have alcohol tonight? Like, would that be the healthiest choice for me? Or do I just need to drink more water for the day? Or do I just need something else? So it's, I think that I've really taken for granted my body and my health for a really long time. And this year it's just kind of been a big epiphany for me that like health is so important and you really should be working on your physical and mental health every single day, even though there are days that like I really don't want to. It just is a really important thing. And I'm excited to take that into this next year of my life and see where that takes me because I feel so motivated to become healthy and to lose weight and to change eating habits and all of those things. And I just hope that it A starts showing on my body a little bit more and B just that it helps kind of my overall package self to focus on that.
I think that that one's a really important one. And I think it's important that you recognize like the work that you're putting in and acknowledge that you're proud of yourself. You know what I mean? Like, I
Mhm.
think that that is really hard for some people to do. And I think I love what you said of like changing habits because people don't realize it doesn't happen. Like, all of this doesn't just happen immediately. Like, you don't just decide one day, I'm going to be so healthy. It's like you have to work every single day on certain little habits like the micro habits that we talk about. Like you have to do little things like that and like restrict yourself from bad habits and you can only focus on a couple at a time. Like you can't literally do all of them.
Yeah, yeah. And with like ALS being such a thing that's in my family, it slowly has got me researching that like if I have a healthy body, maybe if I do have the ALS gene and it mutates, maybe it will take a little bit longer to mutate. It will mutate later on in my life because my body is just healthy and strong and I eat nourishing foods and that maybe it will just kind of hold off a little bit, you know? So I don't
Yeah.
know, just seeing so much sickness and sadness in my family, it just made me really realize that I just want to be a healthy version of myself mentally and physically because it is health is I don't know, there's like a saying something like health is the most important currency or something weird like that. There's some saying out there and I agree with that because you're only given this body and you can't do much if your body's not healthy and ready to go, you know? So
Yeah, for sure. And it's just, I don't know, it's crazy to me the amount of people that still don't recognize that and like want to do something about it, or like they might have the desire, but they're not willing to put in the work. And that's just really
Mhm.
sad to me. And I think it's just crazy to like how much stress and like life challenges can affect that too. Like I think that's one that plays into yours for sure. Like any level of stress and chaos is going to impact a female's body especially
Yeah.
so much more. And like sometimes you could be doing everything you possibly could and your body is literally like, bitch, you're so fucking stressed out, I'm not
Mhm.
budging. And
Yeah.
like that's a factor, like when I'm really stressed at work, I notice I like blow up and like feel like massive. And I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, it's definitely part of your stress. You're having, but you're not making the same decisions you would normally make either. So like you need to like figure out your stress level.
Yeah. 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 So I don't know. That would just be my biggest advice for anybody. Just physically and mentally take care of your health.
Especially as you get older, like 32.
Yeah, exactly. We went dancing over the weekend in Wyoming and it was like such a great time and I really truly do not know why we like ever stopped going dancing. I think just because clubs are exhausting, but it is fun to like let loose and just have fun dancing every once in a while. So anyways, we did that and I literally woke up the next morning and I was like, I feel like I got hit by a bus. Like my body is so sore and I work out, but I did not understand. I was like, why am I so like these muscles that I haven't used in so long? Like I'm exhausted.
Well, like different movements affect you, like so if you're
hmm
not normally dancing, it's completely different muscles and like energies. When we went line dancing, me and Wally were wrecked for like an entire day. Like we had zero energy. Like
Yeah,
that took so much out of us. But I think the reason we stopped going is because stupid, creepy men just hit on you and like
I know it's
we were like,
true.
we just literally want to come have fun. I get that we're
Mhm.
fucking cute, but like leave us alone. And they just like don't. Like they
There
just don't.
really should be just like a club that like girls can go to that just want to have like a girls' night and not have
Yeah.
to worry about getting hit on because truly like going and dancing is so freaking fun. Like the club should open at like 8:30 and close at like 11 and you don't have to worry about getting hit on. Like there's a little place to get a snack afterwards and like then you can just go home and go to bed. Like that should totally be a thing.
Yeah, I fully support that. Like none of us girls, well, there's some girls that want to go out and just like dance on men, but for the most part, I just want to dance with my ladies. Like
Yeah.
I like don't really need a man behind me to dance. Like I just need a
No.
body.
Like I just want to have a good time. I don't want it to be this thing of like how many guys can buy me a drink, like blah blah. Like no, I just want it to be fun. So,
Yeah, I agree. So is that like the one thing that you have, or do you have more?
besides the stuff that we already touched on, I think that and just I just think again with the whole ALS thing and being faced with that again, it just really put a lot of things in perspective to me that like it's so important to have relationships with people and even though like a lot of my family lives out of state or it takes time for me to get like down to Salt Lake, like the time or the travel doesn't matter to me because the relationship with those people matter a lot more. And I mean even with Gypsy passing, like the memories and pictures and all of that I have with her, like those are so strong and that's just it doesn't matter the things that you do or how much money you spend or whatever. Like it really just matters like taking the time to call somebody on the phone and just check in or go to lunch with somebody or whatever it may be. I just think that relationships with people and nourishing the relationships that you already have and making those stronger, I think that that's really important. And I don't know, it just was really shifted into perspective when the family member got diagnosed with ALS that I'm like, I don't talk to them nearly enough and I just need to do that more. So I just feel like relationships and health are the most important things to me right now and the things that I really am going to be focusing on within the next year because they're the most important things to me. So,
Well, I think those are really good things to focus on and like good perspective to have. And like, I think it's just weird to me that like as you get older, like these are the things that like you start thinking about and doing. Like aging is weird as hell.
mhm.
Okay, so I have some rapid fire questions for you.
Oh, okay. I didn't know we were doing this.
Surprise. Okay, so we're doing this in the context of starting year 32. So like from your birthday on, I want you to think of what your answer is going to be for these questions.
Okay.
Um, your new goal for your house after your birthday.
Fix my yard. Have a yard that I can relax in.
That's been your goal for a fucking long time. You better make it happen.
I know, and you know what? We've been trying and nobody wants to fucking work. We've had so many people lined up to come give us quote for things and they never show up or they'll show up and then never give us a quote. So, if
That's so
anybody
weird.
knows contractors and or landscapers who want to work, please let me know because we need a good honest person who actually wants to work.
Yeah, that super sucks. But also, I think we could probably just plan a weekend where like we get a bunch of the guys up there and like help Tony bust out a bunch of stuff. And then it's like
True.
clear landscape for someone that can just like build the deck at that point, you know? Like
True. If
your
you guys
biggest
want
thing
to
is
do
like,
that.
we would. I mean, I would mostly get drunk and they would work, but I'll make them
Same.
food. Like you can have snacks.
Yeah.
But like I think that like even just clearing it up is one of the biggest things that's like the struggle for you. And I feel like that's
Mhm.
one that we can like take control of it and like do ourselves. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay. Next one, your goal starting as a 32-year-old lady for your health.
I would like to lose weight would be my biggest thing. Get to a healthy weight. I don't want to put a number on it. I just want to get to a healthy weight. And I would like to eat more plant-based food because I feel like I eat a lot of meat and I need to incorporate plant-based stuff.
You eat so much fucking meat, it traumatizes me. Because
Yeah.
like I don't eat a lot of meat, but like when we were on the cruise, I noticed that like every time you come back and be like, "Ooh, what did Taylor get?" And then I'd see meat. I'm like, "What the fuck? She always has meat. Like, why don't
Yeah.
you have anything good?" But like, I
Yeah.
just don't eat meat like that.
Yeah.
But I did have those thoughts of like, "Fucking of course. Here's some chicken. Here's some beef. Like, where's the good shit?"
Yeah, I eat a lot of meat.
Okay. So, what about a goal for your life starting year 32?
Figure out where I want my life to go.
That's a good one to focus on. That's like a good goal.
Yeah.
What is a new habit you want to create?
Hmm. That's a hard one. Um, Honestly, I would like to start working out in the morning. That would be a habit that I really want to get into.
I love that answer. What is a habit you want to ditch?
Sugar, eating so much sugar, being like reliant on sugar.
That's a good one. Well,
Yeah.
those are my questions. Those are the ones I sent you for like the month goals from my friend that we are going to have as a guest on the podcast. I'm very excited for you guys to all listen to her, but she does this every month for herself. And so I thought it would be fun to do it starting as a 32-year-old lady.
I like it.
Are we ready for asking for a friend?
I think so.
All right. Hashtag asking for a motherfucking friend. Why are Leos so much? And we did not submit this question. I just want
No,
you
we
guys to
did
know
not.
that.
I really don't know how to answer this. I feel like, I mean, I want to say it's just a Leo thing, but it's really like I know quite a few Leos and they are not as much as like Shelby and I. So I think it just depends on the Leo person, and I don't really know why. I feel like I've been so much for my whole life.
Here's what I would say. This is going to be my answer. I do believe that our energy can be a lot during the month of August and Leo season. I
Yeah.
can appreciate that. I acknowledge it, I'm aware of it, and I will not stop. However, the thing I have noticed is the people that are the most upset by it are people that do not like to celebrate their birthday or want attention, or they secretly do, they just don't dare have the confidence to make that happen for themselves. And B, they're the people that are all the time loud, obsessive, people that want to talk to them, like they want to talk to everyone all the time. They have all this energy, they love the center of attention. And so when Leos suddenly show up, they're like,
where have you been all year? I've been doing this already. Like, this is my scene. And I think it bothers them that we suddenly take back over and like don't give a fuck. So
I
those are
can
my
see
two
that.
theories. People that don't
See that.
really care to celebrate their birthday, they don't get the hype, they don't understand the energy, or people that are like, I already do this all the time. You just stepped into my territory and now I don't like it.
I could see that for sure.
I could probably come up with one more theory, but this is just my off the cuff. Here's my two initial thoughts. I
Hmm.
think I have more thoughts. I can feel them brewing right now.
I don't know really what my thoughts are. I don't really know the answer to that. I just feel like I just really have always loved my birthday. I love the energy that it brings. I love getting gifts. I love like people doing whatever I want to do and me not feeling bad for that because it's my birthday. Like I love having the day off of work. I just love all of that and I don't really know why.
I think what I noticed too for myself is like I don't normally like people to pay attention to me to that level. I don't really like people buying me gifts. It makes me very, very uncomfortable. I don't like people buying me random lunch either. Like I'm like I can support my own, like don't do anything to give me a handout. But when it's my birthday, it's like fuck yeah, you should buy me lunch. Yeah, you should buy me a gift. You should give me gifts all month long. Like
Yeah, Starbucks, I should get a free coffee today, bitches.
I got an email today from Cafe Rio that's like, happy birthday. Here's $5 off. And it's like, thank you. Like, yes. And
Okay,
then
it's funny that you say that because I got an email from Express this morning and they're all open up for your birthday gift. I was like, oh my God, Express gives a birthday gift? I opened it up and it was $5. And I was like, motherfuckers, $5? What can I get for $5 at Express? Like, thanks,
literally,
but
I like when food places do it because like $5 isn't a lot, but like I'll
no,
still
it
use
is for
it.
lunch. Yeah, it is for lunch for sure.
And then like I got another one from Tsunami and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have to eat Tsunami now in the
Oh,
next 2 weeks because I love it. And also you just give me $5 off. Like, of course I'm coming.
please, can I come to Tsunami? I love that
I
place.
love Tsunami too. It is
It's so good.
so good. Their shrimp poppers are so amazing.
They have
And I don't even
really
normally
good
eat shrimp
sushi.
very much.
I love tsunami. That sounds so good. I'm actually starving right now.
So I don't really like those are my two theories for why Leos are so much, but also like I'm not that energetic all the time. When it comes to like birthdays though, like I want everyone to celebrate their birthday. I want to celebrate them on their birthday and I want them to like return the favor.
Yeah, yeah, same.
So I don't know. Sorry guys, but not sorry.
I mean, I'm not sorry. I I feel like I've been this way for almost 32 years. If you're not used to it by now, like, I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. Obviously, it's not going to change. Obviously, I'm not afraid of turning another year older. So,
I do I do hate turning like another year older. Like I don't like aging. I do truly find like beauty in aging though and like end up enjoying it. I just don't like the thought of it and I don't like the thought of like being like 80-year-old people and like the saggy skin we'll have and like so many things that I just don't ever want to have happen to me.
the saggy tits.
Like I was at a concert on Friday and this lady, like her and her husband were walking and they were definitely older and like she looks fit and stuff, but as she got closer, like she just has all these wrinkles on her legs and as she walks, like her skin has no firmness to it. And so as she walked, like it would just like jiggle and like she's skinny, but she's just literally like her skin doesn't have anything to it anymore. And I was like, oh my God, like I do not want that. I will cry. I like my firm skin.
Oh, that is so funny.
This is not funny. I'm getting anxiety. I'm getting heart pains just
Oh
thinking
my
about it.
gosh. You're gonna be
Anyways,
fine. Okay, well, I think that's our episode. So, thank you guys for listening. Thank you for celebrating our birthdays because I know we're going to get so many happy birthdays. So, I'm preemptively thanking you. For our birthdays, like and subscribe, send us a review, share with your friends, follow us on YouTube. And that's all we want for our birthday, mostly. Be
I
on the
mean,
lookout for my Amazon registry.
that is a really good idea for our birthday, you guys. That one costs nothing. So like definitely do that, but then also make sure you like wish us happy birthday or like hang out with us and get us presents if you can afford a present. No pressure.
Thanks, you guys. Bye.
Bye.